here with Jason Maloney. Jason, you just got back from Japan. Obviously, disappointing result. All of Australia's gutted. How are you feeling now that everything's kind of stopped and you've come to terms with it all?
Yeah, mate. Physically, I'm fine. Obviously, just absolutely heartbroken and gutted that I lost my world title and didn't perform at my best. It's always hard when you give so much to the sport. You have the best preparation possible, but then the performance on fight night just doesn't match. And at the top of the sport, if you're not in your game on fight night, well, you're not going to get the results you want. And unfortunately, Taki was too good for me on the night. I'd love another crack at him. That's what hurts. I know I can do so much better, and I know that was a fight I could have and should have won. So yeah, it's obviously very disappointing, but nothing I can do now but learn from it, improve, and keep working hard.
Yeah, like that 12th round, you came so close to stopping him. It's like if you had another 30 seconds a minute, he was gone. He was exhausted. How did you come so close in that 12th round that you didn't have to do in the first 11 rounds? What happened there?
Yeah, I was struggling to get to him. He's very, very good with his feet and a very good counter puncher. So I had to be smart. I knew going into it, my teammate Bruno Tarimo had already fought him, and he tried to pressure him, and he rushed him, and he walked into a lot of his punches and took a lot of damage in that fight. And the way that he was pressuring him just sort of fell straight into his hands. And I knew that going in that I had to be clever with my pressure, and perhaps I was a little too tactical and it took me a little bit too long to get that proper pressure on him. But I was hopeful that I'd wear him down the stretch, and I could see he was getting tired, but I couldn't put the pressure on or get to him like I wanted or land the punches like I wanted. And then in the last round it all started to work for me, and I upped the pressure, and obviously that worked, and I could feel his energy really drop, and I could feel that he was one clean punch away from going down and probably not getting up. And I tried everything I could, but I just couldn't get that last punch in, and I couldn't finish the job. But that's what makes it hard. I'd love to wind the clock back and pick the pressure up a bit more earlier, but it's easier said than done against these world-class fighters. They're sharp and good counter punches, and if you're not clever, you fall into their traps. So it was a hard fight.
Yeah, boxing is such an unforgiving sport, but you got to fight in a historic venue, famously where Mike Tyson got knocked out.
Yep.
What was it like there? Because I know the Japanese fans are a lot more, I guess, polite is the choice of words compared to when you go to say the UK or America or Australia. How was the atmosphere there?
The atmosphere was unbelievable. I felt that might have been the case, and 55,000, unbelievable, something that not many people ever get to do. But I felt that maybe with a stadium like that, like what it was like when I fought at Marvel on the Cambosis Haney, the big stadiums, the atmosphere filters out, and it's not really as, I guess, electrifying as you'd expect. But I don't know what it was about Tokyo Dome, and I know they're not known as being a rowdy crowd, but the noise and the atmosphere in the dome was unbelievable. Walking out into that stadium, and you could see people as far as you could see. It was just one person after another. It felt like it was in a movie. It was just unbelievable, and certainly a night I'll never forget. Unfortunately, I won't have the sweet ending I was after, but it was an amazing experience.
You had an option to either fight on this card or at Tokyo Dome, and you said that that was a dream of yours to fight there. I know hindsight's 20/20, but would you have liked to have the advantage of fighting here, looking back, or no regrets?
No regrets. There's no point leaving with regrets, and as I said, it was an amazing experience. I got to fight in front of 55,000 people, the biggest crowd that any Australian fighter's ever fought in front of. I'll have plenty more fights, and hopefully some big fights in Australia very soon, and I can tick that off the bucket list. So no, I wouldn't, if I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing. Obviously I didn't get the win, but it was an amazing experience to be a part of, and I wouldn't change it.
What's next for you? It's too early to say. You just got to enjoy some time with your family, support your brother.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, support Andrew, watching him get the job done tomorrow. Spend a bit of time with the family, but with the team's already talking about the next option, and I'm hopeful there'll be some big opportunities that still come. and it's not too much of a setback. Boxing's a bloody brutal game where one loss can really put you down the pecking order, but hopefully people like what they saw. I know that the people in Japan were so supportive of me and really want me to come back and fight over there again. So yeah, hopefully another big fight abroad or in Australia before the end of the year. And yeah, I can get that world title back.
It feels like whenever you're doing well, your brother's has lost and vice versa. It just seems a bit unlucky, but yeah, we're hoping that you can hopefully both headline a show where you've both got a world title. And,
yeah, the goal has always been to both be world champions at the same time, and yeah, to do a double header would be a dream come true, but unfortunately it just hasn't worked out the last few years. But Andrew will get the job done tomorrow, and yeah, I won't be far behind him.
Yeah, let's break down that fight because it is a replacement opponent. It was originally supposed to fight Carlos Codras.
Yeah.
He's out fighting Pedro Guevara. How do you see that fight going if you were to analyse and break it down?
Yeah, it's a great fight. Andrew was supposed to fight Pedro Guevara about a year and a half ago, so we'd already know a fair bit about the guy. So when he was a late replacement, we were very familiar with him and his style. And Andrew's had a great preparation. He's really come on. He's probably really matured and shown hunger and developed as a fighter a lot in this camp, I feel. And I think this will be an awesome performance. The Mexican will be tough. He's a veteran who's very experienced. He'll hang in there and he'll give Andrew some hard rounds, but I think Andrew's class will come over the top, and down the stretch you'll see Andrew really come on top of him and hopefully get the later round stoppage.
Nice. And looking at the main event, interesting matchup. Very, very big ask for Cambosis. Different style to Haney, but both guys do have losses to Haney. Gomez was probably a lot closer, but he hasn't fought since. So how does that play into this fight? How do you see it going?
That's always the unknown with Loma. I think everyone knows he is aging, but he looked phenomenal in his last fight against Haney and probably should have deserved the decision, really. So if that Loma turns up, it's a very, very hard guy to beat, and it's a difficult fight for George. But I'm backing George, and I hope he can get the job done. As you said, it's a hard ask. I rate Lomachenko so highly. Even now, he may be past his prime slightly. He's an incredible fighter. I was lucky enough to share the ring with Loma in sparring on 2 occasions, and know firsthand how difficult that man is to be in the ring with. After I sparred him, which was a long time ago, 2015, but I just said I can't see anyone beating this man, and obviously he has gone on to lose since, but I think it's always been because the other guys are quite a bit bigger than he. He's not a big lightweight, but him and George are very similar size, so George probably doesn't have that big size advantage that someone like Haney had in their fight, so I think it's a very hard fight for George, but I'm supporting him and hoping he can get the job done.
Right, and lastly, we know you're here supporting your brother. Unfortunately, he wasn't there to support you, to have to prepare for this fight. How does that affect you guys? Does that give you an extra bit of confidence or boost of comfort having your twin brother here? It's a very special bond.
Yeah, it does. And like I thought after the fight, when I probably took too long to adapt and change, I think it would have been very helpful to have Andrew there in the corner and sharing his knowledge with me. Not that Angelo Hyde is an incredible trainer and my corner did a great job on the night. So not that they weren't telling me anything I needed to hear, but it's just that special bond that you said between me and Andrew. We really connect, and when we say things to each other, it really hits home. And I think if he had been there, it might have been a different outcome, which is hard to say. And obviously, I don't expect him to travel all the way to Japan a week out from fight night, so I don't expect that he should have been there. I wanted him not to be there and to be here and focus on his own fight, because this is a very important fight for his career. But yeah, I'm glad I can be here, and hopefully I can share my knowledge and give him some help and make sure I can help him get over the line tomorrow night.
Awesome. Well, yeah, good luck to both you guys, and enjoy some much deserved rest now and time with your family. And yeah, can't wait to see what your next move is.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So good to see you boys. Hey, congratulations. You won with a broken hand as well, and you've brought in the belt.
Brought in the belt, yes.